Welcome to episode number 13 of Bible Blessings with Ben. Joseph is in prison at this time, and he's there because of Potiphar's wife. But God is still with him, and he's given charge over everything that's in the prison, just like when he was in Potiphar's house. Let's pick it up in Genesis chapter 40, verse 1. It came to pass after these things that the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt offended their lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was angry with his two officers, the chief butler and the chief baker. So he put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard in the prison, the place where Joseph was confined. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them, so they were in custody for a while. The butler and the baker of Pharaoh were sent to prison, and they both have dreams, and they're troubled by it. And Joseph sees their countenance being sad and troubled one day, because they don't understand what their dreams mean. So he asks them, "Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell them to me, please." How could Joseph be so confident? Did he know that he was called to be a prophet already, and that he could interpret dreams? Did God come and speak to him and tell him that he was a prophet? When did he know? Well, we don't know, but at least this much we do know. He was willing to try and willing to help. He knew that he could go to God in prayer and help other people. He could intercede for them. I believe that it is in the helping of other people that we are also blessed. Sometimes it is in the stepping forward for the sake of others that our own path gets cleared up as well. It was because of this situation that God was preparing Joseph's life for something greater. God was the one that had sent the butler and the baker down there into prison. Had Joseph been bitter about his own situation, he would not have wanted to help the two men at all. He would have been focused on his own world and missed the blessing of God's calling. You know, sometimes we can be so caught up with our own self-pity, our own sad situation, that we recede into our own shell, and we become irresponsible with our duties. We just want nothing to do with anyone, and sometimes it looks like we have reason to act that way. But not Joseph. He didn't focus on self, but was focused on others and on being the best person he could be in that situation. Well, coming back to the story, so Joseph asks for the dreams of the two people, and so the butler goes first, tells him the dream, and Joseph interprets it and gives it a good outcome. And he also throws in there something a little extra for himself. Genesis 40 verses 14 and 15. "But remember me when it is well with you, and please show kindness to me. Make mention of me to Pharaoh, and get me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away from the land of the Hebrews, and also I have done nothing here that they should put me into the dungeon." He's thinking, this is my ticket to get out of prison. Can't blame him. He's human, you know. But then it's the baker's turn. He's excited to know since the butler had a good outcome. But it turns out bad. Anyways, a few days later, the dreams come to fruition. The butler is restored back to his position, and the baker is killed. But what else happens? Genesis chapter 40 and verse 23. "Yet the chief butler did not remember Joseph, but forgot him. He was forgotten for another 2 years." Another 2 years forgotten, on top of already the time he'd spent in there. But although he was forgotten of man, he was not forgotten of God. God was there in the shadows, planning and molding Joseph's life for the next event that was to come. God was still in control. Friends, let's not allow our situations in life to take control of us. We should not allow circumstances to master us, but we must master our circumstances. This was the second time that Joseph was going through something like this. First, because of his brothers, and then secondly, because of Potiphar's wife. But both times, he still chose to be faithful. And the best was yet to come. You know, we must learn to ride above the storms that come into our lives. And let's learn to master and take control of our circumstances today, no matter the situation. Blessings to you all, and see you next time. If you were blessed by the message today, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. It will help to create more content like this and help to spread the blessing. Thank you and God bless.